I'm here with Simon Townsley, a photographer who's just come back from a month in the Ukraine, telling me about his experience there. You've been a photographer for 30 years, more or less.
More or less.
More or less, and you've covered many war-torn areas and been a correspondent in these sort of dangerous places. And the photographs that you've taken over the years are extraordinary. I'm a big fanboy, but the ones from Ukraine in particular are incredible. Talk to us about some of your favourite photographs and why, and what story they tell.
So I think one that really, it changes all the time, but one that really is kind of left an impression on me at the moment is a photograph of a girl I photographed at a makeshift refugee centre in a town called Zaporizhia, which was accepting as a destination for people fleeing Mariupol, tens of thousands who came out of Mariupol, and they were sent to a supermarket car park first of all for registration. There was great concern about fifth columnists, Russian infiltration, and so they wanted to check everybody who came in, check the vehicles for weapons, and there was an opportunity for volunteers to set up a centre just to kind of give people food and clothing and anything they might need and a bit of support to help them move on from there to the next stage. So I spent quite a lot of time down there waiting for people to come out. I mean, just every story was worse than the last, that people would, be coming out of there with cats and dogs, and at one stage a family came out and they had their pet bird and they'd put it into a 10-litre water bottle. They'd sort of stuffed it in somehow, this budgie, and I thought, Christ, that sums it up really, everything you could do to get you, because of course you don't want to leave your pets behind.
No, absolutely.
So, and then, people in various stages of damage, wounded people who have been, who are very ill, people with medication, people with mental health issues. I mean, just, if you imagine right now, you were told you've got to leave, that's it, you've got to leave now, what are you going to take? You've got 5 minutes. And that's really pretty much what they had. So, it was just this wave after wave, car after car coming in and crammed full. And you know what it's like travelling with kids in a car. I mean, it's hard enough without having to stuff all your possessions in with all of your kids and the pets, and having enough to be getting on with, and then being on the road, first of all, under shell fire and going through a number of different checkpoints, and then finally on the road for 24 hours. It was -7 degrees at night until you finally get to a supermarket car park where someone might give you a cup of tea. I mean, it was just staggering. And I saw a van come in and I could see various kids in there, and when the door opened, I was ready, because I'd noticed this girl. She looked entirely bewildered, and she just kind of looked through me. Yeah.
The look on her face was,
yeah, well, there it is. And, everything about it was there just for a moment, and I just knew. It was really gloomy in that van, but I knew. And then she saw me and she smiled just so. She thought it was the funniest thing. There's a photographer there, and she was hiding and giggling and getting her sister to see what was going on.
The same girl who...
Yeah, just within a moment.
Well, that's an uplifting end to a fairly sombre picture,
and that's the thing, I want to leave you with is that, you talk about resilience of the adults, but the children, they are really resilient, and they'll make the most of whatever situation, but I don't know what's going on deep inside.
Time will tell, I suppose. We'll be talking about more of Simon's photographs. Stay with us.